Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Green Wife, Happy Life. I am Pam, the Green Wife, and this is my husband, Rob, who...
The happy life guy.
Happy Life guy. So today I wanted to talk with Rob about giving up paper napkins and paper towels because it's something I imposed on my family probably, 5 years ago or so. And
There was some pushback.
There was some
initial pushback.
In like looks of shock and horror. Like, what? We're not what?
I think we grew up only using cloth napkins for fancy meals.
Right.
And
so
and so the idea of using it at every meal and getting them dirty. What a weird thing. Like, you didn't really want to get your cloth napkin dirty.
Right. You didn't want to get the Christmas tree napkin
Yeah,
dirty
so that was an adjustment to say it's okay to get the cloth napkin dirty, and then just the you're kind of brainwashed to think the only thing that can clean up a spill is a paper napkin,
right?
Paper towel,
right? Exactly,
yeah.
And it's so nice to pull them off the roll. So
yeah, and you're never going to use a cloth towel on the floor or to clean your countertops. That was always the job of the paper towel.
That's the paper towel job, right? Okay, so I came up with 6 steps, okay, that you can go through. Like, how do you stop using them? So first you have to decide you're going to do it, which I decided. We're just not. And honestly, the reason is because paper is really cutting down trees. It's really using natural resources. And so... continuing to do that,
I guess you get crazy too. There's more to that too. The equipment you use, the way you transport it.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Right.
So here's so U.S. consumers spend about $5.7 billion a year on paper towels. So there's the cost. In the U.S., there's 7.4 billion pounds of waste made up of paper towels and other tissue-y type products. So including toilet paper. To make 1 ton of paper towels, 17 trees and 20,000 gallons of water are polluted.
Wow.
So, yeah, in the U.S. we use more than 13 billion pounds of paper towels each year. It's a lot. It's hard to imagine that. So that kind of was where I was coming from. And so you decide to do it. You have to tell your family.
I've never asked you this. Take a wild guess on how many towels, napkins, paper. How much did we use? Just take a wild guess.
I have no idea.
How much did you bought it every week?
Yeah, I would buy it in bulk at Costco, napkins, paper. And that's because it was cheaper. So
yeah, so we would use 2 or 3 paper towel rolls a week. We would use 200 maybe in a year.
A lot.
Yeah, every napkin, every time we used napkins, it was 1, 2, 3 napkins. It was.
Not one paper towel.
It was thousands of napkins.
Yeah, and when you pull paper towels off a roll, it just keeps going. Whatever. And it's so that was where I was coming from. So I told the family, no more. I was the chief purchaser, of that kind of stuff anyway. And so decided not doing it. And then you sort of have to figure out, when you're going to switch to cloth, how much do you need? How many cloth napkins do you need? Because Rob said, you have your Christmas tree or your fancy napkins, and that's probably for 1 meal. So you kind of got to figure out how many you need. How many meals do you eat? So you can use your napkin for more than 1 meal if you're not my son. Has spaghetti sauce literally all over it.
Yeah.
So figure out how much you need, and in terms of paper towels, replacing those, you at first, I think I cut up old towels, but, if you want it to look, aesthetic, you can, now buy, paper, not paper towels, on a roll. They're made of cloth, and so there's lots
So that's a good teaser. How much do you need? How many cloth napkins do you think we have in our house?
So,
right
okay,
now?
so I'm looking at a blog post I wrote about it. So, I figured for 6 days for dinners and 2 days for breakfast times 5 people in my family. We weren't all eating breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together because people were at school and work and stuff. So I figured with about 40 napkins to start with for a week, because then I would wash them. So yeah, so you just kind of take.
And they weren't expensive, right?
I go on Amazon, bought a huge stack. You can get all sorts of colors if you want them to look nice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's super.
What about paper towels? How'd you replace those?
So paper towels, I started with I would just cut up old towels for rags, and then I think I ended up buying some that looked nicer, and then I went to it's like a Swedish dishcloth. It's almost like a cross between a sponge and a like paper towel. It's really thin, but like there's so many options now, and I'll leave links to a couple of different things. But that was I do have one roll of paper towels hidden in the house for like cat throw up and
We have found it on occasion.
yucky dogs.
But it's like you have to get the librarian to find the fancy book. That's how
Right.
you're
Nobody
the
knows
keeper
where.
of the paper towels.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So the kind of the two main things I had to condition my family to were, okay, this is the drawer where we keep the napkins, okay, and the non-paper towels, and then this is what you do with them after you use it. Like somebody now just takes them all up, drops them in the laundry room,
Right.
so that they end up there, because otherwise, or you can put a basket in your whatever. So you kind of got to let them.
It's part of the job. You put your plate in the dishwasher, and somebody else runs the napkins upstairs on their way to
Usually that's
to binge watch reels on social
Exactly.
media.
Right.
Yeah.
to go back to the room. We have teenagers, so that's why.
Right.
So so kind of tell them where to put the dirty ones.
I also noticed a transition for me, or a change for me, was the silly towel that hangs decoratively on your stove.
Oh,
On
yeah?
the stove handle actually gets used now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I think we would have a almost seasonal. You'd have your fall
Yeah,
towel.
right.
Yeah, and now it's now that towel get used. Those towels get used as well.
Right. Yeah. So we.
Well, wait. You're gonna. I think if you're hearing this for the first time, what about the idea of washing all these things? Aren't you using more water?
I don't know the stats. I'm sure they're on the internet somewhere, but I think that the idea of using something reusable and washing it has less of an effect on a bad effect on the environment than all of the natural resources being used, trees and that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
I don't know the stats. That's just my my thought.
Yeah.
I could find it for another episode.
Oh, sorry, I kind of set you up there.
You stumped me.
Yeah, no, that's all good. That's great. And honestly, we sent her pictures, me and my kids, of us like hugging paper towels at other people's houses and stuff. But it's been easy, just like everything with Greenly. It's a switch that you make that makes an easy switch that makes your life.
It's just a little
better.
bit of a tweak to like your regular habit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did overhear my kids when they were younger saying to friends who needed a paper towel, and they're like, "No, we don't have paper towels. My mom's weird, but it's okay. I'm okay with that." So so that's the quick switch to. Oh, and the last step is you just have to stop buying them, because if you buy them, they're going to get used.
Yeah.
And if you do have a roll of paper towels for like yucky stuff, you have to hide it, or else it's going to get used, because that's what people are used to. So anyway, so those are just like the quick steps that you can kind of take to stop using paper towels and stop using paper napkins. I say do them both at the same time, so then you just don't have any more paper stuff. So it's actually really easy. So if you want more tips on how to use less paper, or if you want to get my free guide on how to clean out your plastic food storage cabinet so you can start using less plastic,
She's got a guide.
I have a free guide for you. So I will
Bad recycling dad joke.
Okay, sure.
What birds like to recycle the most? Toucans. Toucans?
No. No. Okay. On that note, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Take care.